For most owners, a dog is an essential part of everyday life. On any day, on most any street, you can observe what biologist Lynn Margulis called symbiogenesis, the cooperation between species in order to increase their survival. Pet owner, animal human, canid hominid, two species brought together in daily life. Dogs don't have a language, at least not one structured in phonemes and syllables. As humans, we've managed to define language in a way to make it our exclusive property. But when you watch this cohabitation of space and time between a dog and owner, there is communication. Through touch, gesture, sound, and motion, dog and human have a conversation that is in neither dog space nor man space. It's an alternative shared space where they meet in the middle. These moments have been described as partial connections, patterns within which the players are neither a whole nor part. Donna Haraway describes these relations as significant otherness. Dogs and owner occupy this otherness without knowing how to describe it, which begs the question, can technology provide insights into the patterns of this incongruent translation between a dog and a human? What is the role of computers in unlocking these partial connections? Like monkeys, rats, and fruit flies, dogs have been unwilling participants in all sorts of scientific study. They were seen as a convenient species to work with as they are both plentiful and domesticated. It's been in only the past few decades that canine research has shifted from dog as object to dog as subject. In early human-animal interaction studies, the animal was just a quiet partner, useful only for the effect their presence has on a person, with little to no agency or consideration. With the advent of research into human-computer interaction, specifically animal-human technology, development concentrated on either the remote interaction between pet and owner or pet surveillance. While both areas of study share the same goal, to improve the quality of life in the animal, both also see the animal as an object. While this objectification may seem like a step away from a better understanding of significant otherness, used in combination, there is the potential to gather insights into dog behavior and perhaps translate the dialogue between owner and pet. Using a tracking collar, you can gather information about the movement of an animal when they are alone, when the human is in the house, and when they are out for a walk. Using video observation, you can record their movements and record signals for the same three scenarios, ultimately cross-referencing the physical movement with a dog's behaviors. Humans often believe a dialogue with their pet is a one-way street, but dogs and humans train each other. Dogs learn how a look, a body position, or an action can signal to the owner a need or desire. And dogs show common stress behaviors as a barometer of anxiety. Dogs communicate through expressive movements by means of the positions of their ears, tail, and mouth. You can see from this table that actions like lip licking, head shaking, and body position are common stress behaviors. These cues form a dialogue, resulting in an interspecies interdependence. These cues are also present when a dog is alone. For this initial study, 2 dogs were observed in 5 settings. Twice when they were left alone, twice when they shared a room with an owner, and once when out for a walk. The movements were tracked with an electronic sensor that mapped their travel around the house and around the neighborhood. While this is a small sample set of only 7 hours of data, the goal of the study is to determine if you can correlate the dog's emotional state with their movements. In each instance of being left alone, the dogs were told to stay.
Stay.
A message to the dogs that the owner would return soon. After an initial period of restlessness, the dogs settled into resting positions, where they could observe the arrival of the owner from the window. When you talk with an owner about their dog, it's common to hear a projection that equates these domestic canines into furry children. Many family members describe their pets as possessing a human status within the family. The animal is treated as a dependent child, Haraway points out that dogs are not a projection of oneself. They are neither the realization of an intention nor the telos of anything. They're dogs, and they have a vast range of ways of relating. A dog's survival regularly depends on reading their humans. They respond well to human visual, pointing, and tapping cues. Sending and receiving signals is important for regulation of social interaction. Effective and safe human-dog interactions rely heavily on the ability of the human to interpret the body language of the dog. In short, human sensitivity to nonverbal signals may affect both communication and interaction between human and dog.
Who wants treat? Come here.
Cross-species interactions require different ways of relating, especially non-linguistic communication such as touch.
Let's go get treat. Let's go get treat.
In human-dog conversation, the dog and the human both have to interpret the other's behaviors and signals accurately for the interaction to prosper. The ability to send effective messages is as important as being able to receive such messages. One of the things this sort of language does is to create an overlapping awareness between two speakers. After coding the time-stamped video footage, noting when an animal exhibited any of the behaviors identified in previous studies, the results were charted over time. Here you can see that dog A exhibited restless behavior of repeatedly sitting up to look out the window, before settling into longer periods of sleep, eventually becoming restless again after being alone for 4 hours. The behavior of dog B, coded for the exact same span of time, shows an initial period of sleep for 2 hours, followed by an hour of restlessness before leaving the room to sleep in the kitchen. When you overlay the behavior of the two dogs, there is a potential relationship where dog A is active when dog B is sleeping, and when dog B becomes alert, dog A finally enters into longer sleep durations. This shifting of anxiety between the two dogs is further evidenced when they present stress behaviors identified in previous studies, chewing their paws, yawning, licking their lips. It also seems to indicate higher levels of stress when the other is sleeping. Electronic tracking of the dog's movements supported the video observations. They were far more active and relaxed when the owner was present, engaging in other space dialogues of gesture and proximity. When alone, their location in space changed little, with regular assessments of potential threats and shifts between restlessness and sleep. This type of study does not entirely remove the perception of dog as object. At the core of the research, the goal is to follow their motion and activities over time and in space. But cross-referencing the data gathered through computer-assisted electronic tracking with observational studies presents the potential to gain a deeper understanding of the cross-species dialogue between canine and human.